So welcome to this Hypershot tutorial for beginners. In this video, I'm going to show you guys. So now you guys might be confused on what's going on. One of the first things you want to do as a beginner is look at your loadouts. Most of these weapons are going to be super basic, which is completely fine. But depending on your playstyle, you're probably going to want to select which gun you use. For me personally, guys, as a beginner, just stick with the AK-47. It is absolutely the best. Don't change your class and just spawn in, okay? You don't need to, click a different game mode. Now, if you do spawn into gun game is basically a game in which you have a gun and then that gun gets upgraded. So you will be, of course, using different weapons all the time. But I will show you guys exactly what other normal game modes look like, such as TDM and other game modes. As explained to you guys, are 3 key movement abilities, okay? And these are key for beginners, okay? So your Q is going to be super useful anytime you need to run anywhere very quickly. The reason this is because this gives you an extra speed boost and it is super useful, okay? So for your Q, let's say, when do you use your Q, okay? You use your Q when you want to get to an objective or you want to run away from an enemy. So if I'm low on health, let's say I see someone and I'm low on health, I'm going to tap Q and then I'm going to run away, okay? And that's going to give me like more speed. And of course, when you do shoot, it does cancel the Q out. So it's important to know that you can't shoot and Q at the same time. If you're going to click Q, just Q and run away, okay? Because look, for example, I click Q, you can see I've gained speed mode. And now this allows me to run away, dodge bullets and better. But as soon as I start shooting when I press Q, it is a different show. Now that is fairly basic. The next one is E. And you can jump with E. Now, with E, you don't just want to use E willy-nilly. I like to use E to be able to get to high ground places, okay? So for E, what you ideally want to do is use your E right near a roof and then get up on that roof. Now, I did fail that jump, but I'm going to, try do it again. And the thing is here, guys, jump and then press E. So jump, E, and then you'll be able to get to any high ground that you do want. Most people don't realize this exists, but as a beginner, you'll be way ahead of everyone, okay? And if you're able to get onto this roof on this map, it is a really, good map. Basically, what will happen is you'll get like a really nice vantage point. And because you're on a nice vantage point, basically you'll be able to get a lot of kills. Because in this game, one thing people don't do is they don't look up, okay? So make sure you're looking up. And so, yeah, look up, guys, because sometimes you'll see people above. So, for example, jump, E, and I can now get on top of the plane. And that is, of course, where you want to be, okay? Now, your next skill is probably your most useful skill, and this is your X. So your X is basically when you are in trouble and you need to shoot, okay? So I'm going to get myself into a situation where someone just has me low. So I'm going to find this guy. And probably gonna, let's see. Okay, shoot me, please. So you can see my health in the bottom left-hand corner. You can see it. Let's get my health down. You can see my health is 140. That's not good, okay? So if my health is 140 or lower, or it's just going lower, what you can do is you can press X to relieve yourself and get a lot better health, okay? So I'm going to show you guys because my health just regenerated there, but that's not what I want, okay? I want this guy to try and kill me, okay? Come on. Over here. Okay, this guy killed me way too quickly, okay? But let me show you guys exactly what I mean, okay? So what you want to do, guys, with your X, apologies for that bit, but let me show you guys what happens, okay? So if you're low on health, press X, you splash it and you heal, okay? Now this does work for teammates as well. So if your teammates are struggling, you can use this ability as well, okay? So for me, you have to understand that when you're in any kind of fight, so for example, I'm going to try and get my health low. You can see this guy shooting at me. I press X, my health is all the way back up. And you get a little bit of movement as well, guys, okay? So it's important to know that it doesn't just give you health, it gives you movement as well. Now, there's one other secret ability that most people don't know exists, and that is, of course, the slide feature. So when you're running around, okay, you can hit C, okay, to slide. Press C and you will slide. Now, this is super useful because what it does is it basically gives you a free speed boost, and you use that speed boost to get out of dangerous situations. So if someone is there and you're on low health, you're able to basically just slide over towards them or slide and just, get in the better position, okay? Now, most people don't know this exists, but I know this exists because, like I said, I've been playing this game for a while. So use C, and if you want to cancel the slide, press C again, and it's super useful. So if you're a beginner, try and slide around. Of course, if there's credits or whatever laying on the floor, slide around and make sure you have them. Now, here, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, of course, how you actually aim. So as a beginner, you probably don't know how to aim in this game because aiming is pretty hard. Now, there are 2 main ways to aim. Some guns don't have an aim down sights feature, okay? Now, aiming down sights is basically where you have your gun and then you just right click and you can see it's now aim down sights, or it's hip fire, okay? Now, for most beginners, I would say just hip fire, okay? Hip fire is going to get you 90% of the way there. You don't need to do anything other than this, okay? Just hip fire and hope for the best, okay? Now, this is what beginners should do because beginners are not going to have the ability to aim down sights. Aiming down sights is much harder. Although, yes, it is more accurate for long term. I would say the best thing you can do as a beginner is to slide around, okay? Press C and then just hip fire into your opponent. So this is what it looks like. Like I see this guy over here. Okay, I died, but I'm going to show you guys exactly what it looks like, okay? So for example, let's say I need to go find enemies. I'm going to slide and then I'm going to hip fire and then you can see hip firing gets me the kill, okay? Now, if I try and just do this by aiming in this way, it's a lot slower and my movement isn't as good. So I'm going to slide around and you can see I'm able to get another kill there. I'm going to slide around. I'm able to get another kill there. Okay, well, didn't get the kill, but about to get the kill. This guy used his ability, and you can see this guy sliding around, and you can see when you're sliding around, it actually becomes a lot harder for you to, you know, get hit by people as well. So sliding is super, super useful. And that's why when you're aiming, hip firing with an AK-47 is probably one of the best things, okay? I wouldn't say suggest, you know, I'm not going to say not to suggest doing this with an SMG. An SMG does work, but the thing about an AK-47 is, depending on the map that you're on, an AK-47 is going to work in a lot of scenarios, okay? And it does have a lot of the damage that you do need, okay? So that is why I would recommend that as well. Now, of course, if you do want to aim down sights, the only time you do want to aim down sights is when you have a thing like you know, a really, really long, I guess you could say, range of sight. Or if there is going to be an area where you just have really, really accurate needs. So for example, let's say I can't get over to a specific area. I'm going to aim down sight and then I'm going to just fire off into the distance. And that's because from where I am, let's just say I'm not able to get to there, okay? But for most cases, aiming down sights isn't that useful. It's best to just hip fire. And I feel like that's what most people do in the game because it's just saving you a lot of time, okay? Now, most people don't realize this. Some people waste time, you know, aiming down sights. I would say that only professionals aim down sights. But yeah, for the most part, when it comes to aiming, just hip fire and then, you know, hope for the best, okay? Now, of course, you've got these things which in the game are launch pads. These are super useful. If you don't have your E ability, these can allow you to access higher ground. And with high ground, you get access to vantage points. And it's basically a lot more useful for you if you're trying to do, you know, I guess you could say not parkour, but if you want to get to a vantage point, okay? So now, another thing that you can do as well, guys, as beginners, you might realize that your guns just aren't that good. So if you want to pick up someone's gun, what you can do is you can press G when they die on the ground. So what we're going to do here, we're going to kill someone first. I'm going to snipe someone, and probably should have explained snipers for you. But what we're going to do is we're going to snipe someone, and I'm going to show you how I can pick up their gun. Okay, now this is going to be hard because I'm going to have to snipe someone first. So I can see someone literally had a tra-la-la gun, but I couldn't pick it up because I wasn't fast enough. But I can see his gun over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over. I'm going to press G to pick it up. His gun wasn't that good. Let me see if I can get this gun. Okay, I see a better gun over here. I'm going to press G. I pick this up. Now, this works if you run out of ammo, guys, because maybe you might run out of ammo. I don't think it's an issue that most beginners are going to face. But let's say, for example, you see someone using something that you really do want to use. You can just pick up that weapon, okay? And so you can press G wherever you see that. Okay, so I press G. Now I've got this guy's Tommy gun, which is pretty cool. So that is going to be another useful feature, okay? Now, I'm going to show you guys how you can make your gaming experience even better than it is currently, because most people don't realize what you can actually do is you can get these things in the game called perks, guys. Now, perks elevate your game to a completely different level, and I'm going to show you guys why that is the case, okay? So let's say I want to go on a kill streak and I want to get a lot better than I am doing now. Now, what you're going to need to be able to do, guys, is have your perks that suit your playstyle. So perks are basically additions to these skills. And right now, I don't have any perks in these class, which means I'm doing it completely bare bones. Now, as a beginner, you probably will have the most basic perks, but I'm going to show you guys how to get some good ones. Now, another thing that you want to do if you want to have fun and you want to emote, guys, you can just press the B button and then you can do whatever emote you want. It's completely up to you. I don't know why this is in the game. I mean, it's pretty funny, but if you want to emote, you can do that. So now when you go to your loadouts, guys, you can see that some of them have perks, okay? So now let's say I go to my main loadout here, which is this AK-47. I got certain passive abilities. So you can see I haven't equipped anything, and it's best to equip something even if you don't have anything because it just helps. So for example, you can see I've got quick hands here. I've equipped reload 30% faster. Then I can equip another ability, which it says take 40% less damage from explosives. And so you can see there's bulletproof here, which is take 40% less damage, but significantly slowed and unable to slide when taking damage for 1.5 seconds. You've got Juggernaut, increases health by 30%, reduces your walk speed. So for you, it's going to be completely what is up to you. This one reduces the headshot. This heals you for 40%. So for me, Siphon, now if you want to get more passives, you have to spin the wheel and then you get passives. So for example, if you go here, you've got lucky spins left. So for me, I've got spins left because I logged in. So when you spin these as a beginner, you're going to see that you get these passives. So Ninja says no footsteps. Well, I don't think footsteps are that useful. That only works if people are listening. And this allows me to jump twice before landing. That's really cool. Let's spin again. And the more you play, the more spins you get. So Helmet is blocks the first headshot I take, regens every 45 seconds. Let's see what another one we got is. Flat Jacket is 40%, okay? Now the best one, I believe, is Siphon, okay? Now I'm going to equip Siphon and reload cancel. Now, of course, you know, you can change different things right here, charm, skins, all that stuff. You can see now I've got my passive abilities. So my passive abilities is I reload 30% faster and I get 40% health after I get a kill. The reason 40% health after I get a kill is so good is because what that means is that every time I get a kill, I get more health. So even if I'm in a gunfight, I'm able to get more health. So now let me show you what that looks like in action, okay? So this is a game mode called Capture the Flag. I've played this game mode many times, and there is a lot of people in this game, okay? Now, what I'm going to show you guys is what happens when I get a kill here. So when I get a kill, I'm able to reload super quickly and I'm able to go back in again. I'm able to slide around. Remember, I showed you guys before, hip firing does work, and I'm able to get kill again. Now, the reason this is so good is because this allows you to stay in a gunfight for longer and you don't need to use your X potion. You just simply have to get a kill. And that is super useful when you're trying to play as aggressive as possible, guys. So you can see I can reload faster. I can get back in the game. And it just depends on what you want to use, guys. Like I said, it's completely up to you on what kind of playstyle you want to have. But for me, this is the playstyle for me that makes as much sense as possible, guys. Now, with loadouts, it's important to understand that whatever loadout you do click, that's what you're going to be spawning in with. So if you ever want to change your weapon, so let's say I'm in a game, I ever want to change my weapon. I'm like, okay, remember that you will kill yourself in the game. So you press escape, then you press respawn, then you press respawn again, and then it's going to bring you back to the main screen. And then if you want to exit the game or whatever, collect your rewards, you can. But this is where your loadout are. So if I want to change it, I now click MP5K. Now I can spawn into the game with my MP5K. Now, of course, I don't have my passives on me, but it's still, you know, what you're able to do. Okay, so it's completely up to you how you want to be able to, you know, move, and how you want to be able to, I guess you could say, change your class, okay? It's completely up to you. Now, of course, as a beginner, if you do want to buy weapons, you will have to use the in-game currency. The in-game currency, there's various different ways to, you know, get coins. Don't buy them if you don't have to. Of course, you can always just buy them. But, you know, if you're trying to level up your gun or you want to unlock new weapons, most of these guns are pretty just standard. But yeah, always look at the stats. You can see the fire mode, the fire rate, the official damage. I haven't really used most of these guns just because I don't think most of them are that good. But for me, the AK-47 is solid. The snipers are solid. I mean, for most beginners, you probably don't need the new weapons. But of course, if you do want to have some crazy fun, it's probably best to get like launchers and grenade launchers and spells and all these kind of weapons, because these ones are really super fun. Like even the magic spell book, I used it for a second ago and that thing was just super fun. Okay, so it's completely up to you what, you know, rifles and stuff you want to use. But I think that, like, for the most part, you know, just sticking with the very basics is fine, just until you get your, you know, head around